Hello and welcome back to TNWKS, the Now We Know show, the show where we discuss a topic of interest, and by the end we will have learned something new, and hopefully
you will too.
I'm Zak.
And I'm Buzz. And yes, it's another prepper episode.
Another prepper episode.
Yes, we love a good prepper episode.
Exciting stuff.
And this one I've kind of wanted to do for a while. We're talking about water filters.
Water filters. Ooh, exciting stuff.
It's great to be back with yet another prepper episode.
Yeah, really, it's kind of chiming off of one of the previous episodes we did, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think we did the survival rule of 3, and this came kind of under that branch, but this is a further in-depth discussion about a particular facet.
Do you remember on
that
the
particular one?
survival rule of 3, the rule of 3 when it comes to water?
Ooh, that's
Come
a good
on,
one.
you should
is
know.
it 3 days without water?
That's it. 3 days without water, and you're a goner.
But I mean, that's pushing it. That is really pushing it.
And then you're a goner.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3. So you can see the importance of water.
Do I get a hoot?
I'll give you a hoot.
For remembering that.
I'll give you that. Yay! I'll give you that. And obviously, water is a prime ingredient of coffee. So I'm going to get the plug in straight away with my yet again empty Dalek coffee cup. This is, we're going to have to get some
some stylized
like
cups,
custom
cups.
Maybe we can have a giveaway.
Well, if you buy us a coffee, maybe we can do that. We can get some custom cups that you can help us refill,
and then we
every
can
week.
Send you one.
Excellent. For your chance to win. That's a good idea. I think we should do that.
Okay, we should do that.
So, thank you very much. If you want to buy us a coffee, please do so using the link in the description below.
Yeah. Anyway, cracking on. Before we get going, of course, we always start with
that classic Now We Know Show podcast segment.
That's it.
Which is
Weird and Wonderful.
So, interesting enough.
What
very
have you got
much
for us?
chiming off of a previous episode. This
Everything's off
I
a
think the
previous episode.
last one. Well, the thing is, we've done so many now, but the last one I think was something to do with zoos. But now this
Zoos?
one
that was
is in
the Mighty
Thailand.
Boosh.
This is in Thailand. A zoo in
Nicey,
Thailand.
nicey zoo.
It's
Good
fun for him and me and you.
zoo.
Nicey zoo. Okay.
That's it.
Watch the Mighty Boosh if you haven't. Mighty Boosh.
Mighty
Boosh if you haven't.
Exactly. Anyway,
So-
something to do with the zoo in Thailand.
Zoo in Thailand. So this is all to do with a viral sensation that is going around social media at the moment.
You mentioned this to me.
I very much did. It's appearing in all the memes.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No,
I'm
but
amazed.
It hasn't come up. Maybe it's just.
It's in memes.
Maybe it's for you young folk.
It's in short videos. It's all over the place.
What is this weird and wonderful meme?
It's all about a hippo called Moo Deng.
Okay.
You haven't seen the cute little hippo?
Well, I have, because you did show it.
Okay, I have shown you now.
Yes.
So, I very much
Deng.
was like wondering why this had suddenly become a thing.
Right. So
Now,
why is Mudeng a thing?
well, it's just because it's a really cute little hippo. But it's
Okay.
actually a pygmy hippopotamus,
Right. Okay.
which you can imagine is very cute looking.
Small, very,
Tiny
very,
little.
very small hippo.
The father's hippo name is Tony, which is quite funny. Tony the hippo.
So what does Mudeng mean?
Moo Deng. Okay, so that's probably the main part of this. It's very interesting. The name was chosen by the public on
So it's one of those
popularity.
ones. They did that for boats and things.
Boaty
didn't they?
McBoatface.
Yeah, Boaty McBoatface.
Which they denied.
And changed to, I think it was
Something posh.
the David Attenborough or something.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so Moo Deng actually translates to
Go on.
bouncy pork,
Bouncy pork.
which is very fitting for this particular hippo because it is renowned for being very energetic and jumpy.
Why would you?
I've seen pictures of this hippo biting people and things.
Oh, okay.
And appearing in like,
Maybe it should have been called Jaws.
I think there was like a Moo Deng versus Paprika,
Paprika.
Come
on, Zak. Come
penguin.
on.
It was a penguin. I think it was Paprika. That might be completely wrong, but I've seen some very funny memes surrounding this hippo.
Why would you associate pork with a hippo? Bouncy pork.
I mean, maybe it's like a water pig.
Oh, maybe.
Hippo water pig.
Well, it's pretty cute.
It is.
I did see a picture of.
It's a very cute
Mudeng.
hippo. Yes.
So
if you ever
which
want a
is funny.
hippo, maybe go to
Hippos.
Thailand.
What do hippos live in?
water.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. See, there was a tenuous link there. Tenuous link. So yeah, we're talking. We're back to our preppers
kind of
stuff again.
Stuff,
and and I think it's very appropriate because obviously we were talking about the survival rule of 3. But also, we've had in America right now, they've had and our hearts go out to all the people over there that are taking the brunt of that. I think isn't it Hurricane Helena or something? And it's caused such devastation. And of course, when
I've heard on the news,
when you see that and you see the flooding that's happened in the communities.
I mean, even in the UK, we've had
that's what I was getting
here.
to. So over here, at the same time, we've had torrential rain across the country. And flooding, even in our area, that we haven't seen for 12 years.
Yeah, I know. I mean, thankfully, we haven't personally been affected by it as much as other people.
I mean, last time we got
extremely lucky.
Seriously flooded was 12 years ago, and I honestly thought with the amount of water that was coming down, we would have been affected, but it's been further upstream.
And fingers crossed that we don't. Have any disastrous effects.
We don't want it. We've been there, done that. In fact, we are actually river wardens and volunteers for the local flood alert system. So, so the thing with flooding is, of course, it causes so much problems with the sewage. With you can't flush your toilets, you can't use your sinks. It gets into the water supply, etc., etc. So, a major thing when it comes to prepping, when it's you might want to jump in there and sort of like think of sort of survival situation. Oh, you're in the middle of nowhere and you haven't got any way of purifying your water or whatever. But of course, what we're talking about, this is just something that is every day. This is something that you could be hit with any time. And you suddenly think, oh. What do I do? I haven't got any water. There was an outbreak of, I think it was Cryptosporidium down in Cornwall.
Cornwall, yeah.
Yeah, Devon, Cornwall way.
I mean, we had some friends down there that were affected by that.
That's it. And big shout out to Tony and Roxy.
Yay! Hi, Tony and Roxy.
Hi, Tony and Roxy. So the community were all having to get around Brixham. They were all having to get bottled water. Came into
which is something you would never really expect to happen.
No, and supposedly it was because a pipe that was on a farm got broke. It was leaking, and the water supply got contaminated from cow manure. So these things happen.
Yeah,
and so
we want to imagine that our lives can go hunky dory all the time, be wonderful and brilliant, but sometimes there is a kink in the chain, and these things have effects.
As I say, shit happens.
Oh,
and
what's that?
And so you want to be prepared, and that's what prepping's all about.
An TF scenario.
A shit hit the fan situation.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And of course, there's a lot of people out there that also don't actually like drinking tap water.
Yeah.
And complain about tap water and complain that tap water itself has got lots of, sometimes it comes through lead pipes even still in the UK. And you've got, heavy doses of fluoride in there they put in the water and all sorts of things. So not everybody likes that. Most people will get something like, I think it's called a Brita water filter, Britas water filter.
Perhaps,
there's like a jug you put in the fridge just to clear it out a little bit. But if you obviously need water, you need water to survive, you might want to think about obviously adding a water filter to your preps.
Yes.
Now, of course, this is where people talk about water filters, but what I need to sort of say at this point, it's a bit like saying you're doing hoovering, when actually, you're obviously vacuuming, but you might be using a Dyson or a Shark or something, but everybody says, I'm just going to do the hoovering. And of course, everybody refers to these things as water filters.
It's like jacuzzi and hot tub.
Yeah, but but what I want to say is there is a difference between something that filters water and something that purifies water. Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, so if we start off at the basics, if you've got a water source where you can take water from, ideally you want something that is a running, flowing water source, and also something where it's got very minimum turbidity. Okay.
What's turbidity?
Turbidity. Well, you don't want turbid water.
What on earth does turbid mean?
Oh, do I need to say? Like, turbid basically means when water is cloudy or full of debris and detritus.
Oh, turbid.
See, it depends on its turbidity.
Turbidity.
There you go.
That's a fun word.
It is a good word.
Can we make that the word of the week?
So, for example,
I know we don't do that anymore, but
so for example,
turbidity.
Where we've got our Anglo-Saxon village,
Okay. Yep.
If you were going to choose between a water source, we've got lakes to choose from.
Yep.
And there's a river, so you choose the river
over the lake because of the flowing water.
It's flowing water rather than what is pretty much a stagnant pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of fester.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
Not a fun word.
Festering water. But hopefully, I mean, you can have flowing water, but you might not have that opportunity to have that. So you might find that you have got water and it's turbid water, and you need to filter it. Now, of course, the more turbidity you have, or the dirtier the water, the more, say, plant detritus might be in it, plant matter, as well as obviously bugs, etc. Bacteria,
a dead animal, maybe.
Yeah, which would lead to having bacteria and protozoa in the water, and also just mundane stuff. If you want to call it mundane, just like heavy silt. So if you've got very muddy water, so for example, with the flooding that we've been having and the flooding in America and everything, the water that might be available, if you have a well and it's been flooded, then that water is going to be possibly contaminated with sewage, etc. But if it's not contaminated with sewage, it may just literally be contaminated with a lot of silt and debris. So it's suddenly gone from being clear water to very dirty, silty water. So your first stage filtration in a survival situation would be to try and decrease the turbidity of the water. And we've discussed this before, haven't we? So do you remember what we do with if you had a plastic bottle around where you could use...
Okay, so basically you layer it up with different substances like sand, like gravel and things like that.
That's right. So so the idea would be, so if you had sort of like a 2-litre Coke bottle that you could slice the bottom off, so you can turn it technically upside down so the spout is downwards, put some sphagnum moss in it, because the sphagnum moss has got the tighter filterage, if you like.
Yeah.
Then put broken up and crumbled charcoal on top of that, and then sand, and the first layers are going to be the more coarse layers. The idea being that as you allow the water to go through, and as the water goes through using gravity, then that filtration should strip out as much of the bigger material within it.
And then we went on to say that if that was something that you were doing, you would still probably aim to boil that as well.
Yeah, definitely. So that's filtration. Okay, and that's filtration. And I always wear a bandana, so I could use my bandana as a temporary filter. Yeah, and
wow, you're packing heat.
Okay, well, bandanas, they're great.
Bandanas are cool.
It's a bit like having what was it? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, carrying a towel with you. Every hitchhiker should carry a towel, because.
And why is that?
Oh, so many of things you can use a towel as. You can use
water filtration.
Water filtration. You keep the sun off you. Use it as a weapon. All sorts of things.
That's quite funny.
You haven't read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I know. What a crime.
So
what a crime.
I can use my bandana, but in a similar way of a bandana, the British Army back in World War II, they basically what's the word I'm looking for? Gave to each soldier. Issued. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes.
So in World War II, they issued all the soldiers, British soldiers, with what was called a millbank bag.
A millbank bag.
I did want to bring one in, and I couldn't find my millbank bag. Sorry.
Typical. You need another one. Remember, two is one is none.
If you get the opportunity, you can always flash up a picture of a millbank bag.
We'll see.
I
don't even know what one looks like.
Okay. Well, let me describe it for those people that listen to the podcast. So a millbank bag is basically made out of canvas. So if you think of tent canvas, a good natural canvas, like sail canvas,
Okay.
Ideally, sail canvas is white. It's so there's no colour to it. And if you just think of a rectangular bag, but the bottom of the bag, rather than being cut straight, it's cut at an angle. Okay, so you've got a bag, and then the bottom of it is cut at an angle, so it goes down to one corner. And then the opposite top corner, you usually have an eyelet, so you can put a bit of paracord around it. And what you do is you fill the bag. Actually, I'm running ahead of myself. What I should say is, with a millbank bag, because it's canvas, you soak it in the water source that you're taking water from for about 10 minutes, get it really wet. Then scoop your water up in it so the bag is full. Hang it off a branch and put your container underneath it. Not straight away, because what you want to do is because there's going to be contaminated water on the outside of the bag. And so for the first you're working on gravity here. So for the first, depending on how the flow's going, allow the water to pour off the bag and then put your container underneath it, so you're getting the water from inside the bag.
Yeah.
And the canvas, because it's nice and tight, will take out a lot of the turbidity that's in the water. Okay. And of course, if you've got a metal container, you want to go into the metal container so that then that can go straight on the fire to be boiled in order to sterilize it. Okay. So millbank bag is a really good filtration system, which is so simple. And you literally roll it up and carry it anywhere.
Do you know how available these
bags
are?
I mean, you can buy a millbank bag for, I think you can get them from Army Surplus places, but if you want to buy a new one, I did have a look at prices, and they do vary depending on the manufacturer, but a tenner.
Really?
£10.
I was expecting, because I know a lot of these water filtration systems are often coming with a hefty price tag.
We will talk about prices because they do vary, but remembering that a millbank bag is for filtration, not purification. Okay, so
because can't you get filtration tablets?
Yes, and again, that's another thing you can do. You can drop your purification tablets into the millbank bag, and allow those to
purify the water, and then as it kind of filters
or
out.
put them into the water once you've gone through the millbank bag.
There's options.
There's options. But when you've used the millbank bag, turn it inside out, wash the debris off it, and then let it naturally dry. Just as a tip, if you want to give it a wash when you get home or whatever, do so, but not in any water more than probably just about warm. If you put canvas into hot water, it will shrink.
Right.
It'll close the pores up on it, and you won't get any water.
So it won't be very helpful for the future. No,
it won't be very good at all. But millbank bag is a really good thing to have in your preps because it does save you for having to make up some kind of filtration system.
Well, I suppose if you just put it into that kind of, I've had to go out, but I don't want to carry water.
Yep.
Having such filtration systems and purification, whatever, it kind of helps you lighten your load almost.
Yeah. So you're going to have a light load, but with that facility of having a millbank bag or any other way of actually filtering the water, you are going to have to boil the water, and then usually, especially depending on the climate you're in, you can't drink that straight away. So you're going to then have to if you've got the facility to put that container into your stream or any water that isn't going to contaminate what you've got in your container, but help to cool it down.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you're in a snowy condition, you could put it just in the snow and to cool it down. But you've got to get it to a temperature which you can drink it at.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So the whole process of water collection, filtration, sterilisation, to cooling down to the point of drinking, it's quite a lengthy process.
Yeah, and I can see where mistakes in that chain of events could lead to imperfections in your process.
You certainly don't want to be taking on board any salmonella, E. coli, cryptosporidium, anything like that. That's
really
don't. Give you gut rot. That's really what you do. That's what you're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in desperation. Even if you are desperate, you must think, I've got to do as much as I can to filter this water, and if possible, to purify it, sterilize it before I drink it.
I mean,
otherwise you're just going to cause yourself. I mean, if you give yourself the trots,
the trots.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
The squits. You get diarrhea.
All right, okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to
Montezuma's Revenge.
I'm not giving you the horn for that.
You're not giving me the horn for that one.
Montezuma's Revenge. That's a new one.
You've not heard of Montezuma's Revenge? Okay, look it up.
I'm not gonna. That'll be some dodgy pictures.
I think a lot of the Spanish. I think that comes from when the Spanish. Oh, it might be another. When the Spanish went to South America, and then they were getting all the gold off the Incas and the Aztecs or whatever, and there was a king called Montezuma who they imprisoned, and eventually he died, and they took all. I think a lot of the Spanish conquistadors died of dysentery, and so it was
like his revenge.
It was called Montezuma's Revenge.
Isn't there like a Chessington Wildwood.
If I've got that wrong,
wait, that's
put it in the
Ramesses
comments.
Revenge. Don't worry
Put it in
about
the comments, but I think that's where it comes from. Anyway, so that's what you're trying to avoid, because if you do make yourself ill, and either if you're throwing up or you're basically having the squits, then you're losing so much body fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
need to replace it.
You've countered what you've been trying to do.
Exactly.
You're actually making your position worse.
Like discipline and like being so like.
Don't rush it.
Yeah, don't rush. If you like question how pure it is, it's not pure enough. Make sure you boil it.
Yeah, make sure you
always make sure you boil it.
Yeah, that's good. It's going to be what it is. However, that's when we come on to other filtration units, which you can obviously buy these days, where you don't have to boil your water, because what they're doing is they're not only filtering the water, but they're also purifying the water.
Ooh, have we brought some in today? Perhaps
I have. I've got a little selection you've cheekily noticed next to me.
Yeah, I did see a bag come into the studio, and I was wondering what that was.
What I'm going to say is, with a lot of these water filters, that they do have different price tags. They come with different makes. I'm not promoting anybody's particular make. What I will say though is, they all kind of differ in their ability to do the job. And some, as we will discover, are really good at certain areas and not good in others, and vice versa.
So if I remember from our previous podcast, it was very much came down to a fact of how many litres that each one could kind of purify.
Yeah, and that varies. So there's a popular brand which is called a soy water filter. They make several different ones. The Sawyer Mini is a very favourite one, and I think that comes in at about £45 if you buy a Sawyer Mini. And I've got one. I haven't actually got a Sawyer Mini with me, but I've got one which is similar. I can get the packet open on this one. A little bit like, what is this, ACMR or something?
ASMR.
So there, for those people listening. So in this packet, you can do the reading.
I can do the reading?
Yeah, so
okay.
You can see it should have the amount of litres on the front there.
Okie dokie.
Which is that.
I'm looking at it. 1,200 litres, or 317 gallons.
There you go. So that's a fair amount. Okay, I think a human being needs about 2 litres a day to survive off of.
Yep.
But if you are thinking of maybe using water to cook and water for your own personal hygiene,
then you're going to need more.
You might want to maybe go an extra litre or double it to 4 litres.
So this will last a pretty reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, so this water filter is probably it's about the length of my hand.
Yeah.
Now this can be used like
a small green tube.
Yeah, now it's got a cap on the end that just pulls off, okay? And it's got for those people listening, it's got a sippy tip, let's call it that.
A sippy tip.
A sippy tip. So that's a bit that you put in your mouth and you would suck through. And it's like a very, I don't know, that's probably about 4 or 5 inches max long.
Yeah.
And it works like a straw. However, if you've got to lean off a riverbank or something and get that in, that's going
to be a bit awkward, isn't it?
So this particular filter, which is like a Sawyer Mini, comes with an extension tube. And that extension tube fits into the end, so you can push that on. There's like a little nipple on the end there, and that increases the length. Now that is now it's got a rubber tube on it, allows you not only to get easier access into the flowing water, but if there was no flowing water and you were having to harvest your water from cracks in rocks and things, you can get in there. The thing though is you have to suck through these, and with the filter like a Sawyer Mini, then what you can also do is you can fit a bag. They come with a bag, and so you'd fill the bag up in the stream, and a bit like a dry bag, it has a rolled top to seal the top.
Okay.
And then you connect the bag to the tube, and then by holding the bag up in the air and squeezing it, a bit like people when they're on a
drip.
Yeah. So if they're at hospital, they got drip. So you'd squeeze the bag and suck, and the water will come through.
Squeeze and suck.
Okay? Squeeze and suck. And this particular one I've got here, okay, it's also got a universal screw adapter. So if you get any kind of water bottle, you would be able to screw that onto a water bottle.
Obviously fill the bottle up.
So you can fill the water bottle up with your dirty water.
Yeah.
Hold it upwards and either suck out or just give it a squeeze to help it
on
its way.
What I think would probably be good to say is the fact that it's not like using a normal straw.
No.
You're going to get some resistance because it's quite a odd shape. to kind of suck through, isn't it?
Yeah, but as I say, this type of filter, you can attach it to a bottle, which kind of helps.
Yeah.
The water
collection.
Yeah. However, then we're going to move on to probably one that most people have heard of, which is the Life Straw.
Life Straw.
Okay, so Sawyer Mini is about 45 quid, whereas a Life Straw, here it is. Now that's double the length of the one we just had.
Yeah.
So that's what, about 8 inches?
Yeah.
8 inches.
That's like I don't know what you...
Comes with a neck strap, so you can't around your neck. You can just literally put this on your backpack, on the strap.
Yeah.
And these, when it comes to, I think on the amount of water that a Life Straw will do, is 100,000 gallons.
100,000 gallons.
Yeah.
This one says long-lasting filters up to 1,000 gallons.
Oh, that says 1,000 gallons.
Yeah.
Oh, I misread that.
Or
sorry.
4,000 litres.
4,000 litres. This okay. So the Life Straw.
Yeah. So that is quite in excess of the previous one.
I believe they say that with a Life Straw, it gives you enough water for one person for 5 years. The amount of water you drink in 5 years.
There you go.
Okay. However, with these, you pop the cap off the end. It doesn't have a thread in the end. You place that in the water.
Yeah.
For I think it's about 30 seconds to a minute, just to get the water to start going into the filter, and then you take the cap off the other end and you suck the water through it. Hence why it's a straw. But they do take a lot of sucking to get that water through.
Yeah, that's what I was saying on the previous one, and just by the increased size comparison, that's going to take an awful lot.
It does take a lot
more
of sucking.
oomph.
However, these are very, very popular, especially for world travellers that are going off to the Far East and anywhere where you don't think it's safe to drink the water. Yeah, the Life Straw, loads of people use them.
I mean,
it's a good bit of kit, and considering that you're paying basically £22 for this,
so that is cheaper than the other one.
Getting 1,000 gallons worth of water.
Yeah.
Then you really can't argue with it for the price.
Sorted for that.
You don't want to take any chances with your health. However, as you say, this doesn't have a thread on it, so you can't attach a bottle. You've literally got to suck it out of the waterfall. So if you've got a different container, you could scoop the water up and put this into a container and drink it out of a container.
Well, I suppose the thing with that is you can't obviously boil the water because you're sucking it directly up.
And that is a very good point. So with these first two filters, with like the Sawyer Mini style filter and the Life Straw, you're drinking the water, but you can't. I mean, with the Sawyer Mini, you can actually squeeze the bag and the water will come out and you can drain that into a container.
Yeah.
With the Life Straw, you can't drain it into a container. However, you can buy the Life Straw Go cup now, which is like a sports drinks cup.
Okay.
And the Life Straw fits into the cup. So you fill the cup up with the dirty, contaminated water and suck the clean water out the top of the cup.
Okay.
But again, as you say, you're not actually you're not getting any extra. You can't collect the water.
No.
Apart from sucking it out the straw. With the Sawyer Mini type one, you at least can collect the water into a separate container if you want to use that water for cooking or anything like that. Yeah. So Life Straw. Great life. I mean, it's got, I think it's an unlimited shelf life on these. You can stick on there. And they last, well, once you get to a point where you literally can't suck any water through it, then it's done. Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of built-in redundancy.
Yeah. I mean, most of these types of filters they'll say that they do either X amount of uses or just to the point where you can't get anything out of them anymore. And that is going to be determined also by the water turbidity. Do you remember that word?
Turbidity,
because if you're using, you should go for the cleanest water in the first instance, because that way it's going to prolong your filter.
Yeah.
So if you've got the time and you've got the only choice of water you've got is rather turbid water.
You love that word, don't you?
Then what you should, if you've got the time, you're not in a rush, then if you want to prolong your filter, then do a first filtration on it using sort of like a millbank bag or any other way, even you might like my bandana, filter it first to get more of the silt and detritus out of it before using your water filter.
Yeah.
That will prolong your water filter. Anyway, then we've got another one here, which is again along the same lines as the Life Straw.
That looks
this is
indistinguishable.
Yeah, this one is by a company called Finer Filters.
Okay, there's a slight difference.
Finer Filters. The reason I've got this one in here is because unlike the Life Straw, this one comes like the first one we showed you with the adapter, so you can put a bottle on it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's by a company called Finer Filters, and that's £16 for the filter.
Okay, so cheaper again.
But what's the water on that one?
3,000 litres.
3,000 litres. So
or 12 months.
Yeah. So the Life Straw was that? Did you say that was 10,000 litres?
Life Straw, that was 4,000 litres.
4,000 litres. Okay. And this one is 3,000 litres.
Yeah.
Or there it goes, because they're all going to vary. Also comes with.
But that does come with the time frame of 12 months.
12 months, and then you get rid of it.
Yeah.
And it comes with a little natty carabiner to hang off your backpack. There you go.
Just in case.
Just in case.
I'd probably replace that with something a bit more
sturdy.
Oomphy.
There's an instruction manual that's fallen out.
Oh, thank you.
So you've got a lot of these things that are like life straws, and you've got the type that are like the Sawyer Mini, which you can then decant your water into a separate container. Using the Life Straw, you can't decant the water. Now, that's when we come on to something. There's a company that make this particular big boy over here, which is the Grail, and I brought this one. This is the Ultra Press Grail. You also get the Geo Press, which is a bigger capacity than this one.
I was imagining that was going to be the big one, but no, that's cool.
And I believe they also now have brought out one which is the Geo Press Titanium. It's got a titanium cap on it. Now these things are, for me, the next level up. Okay, so let's just take it out. You can read. It should say what it filters out on the box or on the back of it. There you go. It'll give you a whole long list of stuff.
Removes viruses, particulates, bacteria, chemicals, protozoa, and heavy metals.
Yeah. Now that's the thing. The Life Straws, etc., don't say that they get rid of the heavy metals on them. The thing with the GeoPress and the GeoPress Ultra is that they have active charcoal filters in them, which clears out a lot more. Now, with these, you have, I'm going to twist this out, an inner and an outer cup. So you have a cup here, the outer cup, which for those people listening, it's sports bottle size, yeah?
Yeah.
And it has a fill level on it. So you'd fill that up with your dirty water. Once you've got your dirty water, now the inner cup has its active charcoal filter attached. Okay, that twists and locks onto the bottom. You undo the top cap, a couple of turns, just let the air out. And then literally you put that in, and it's got a nice sort of padded palm press on the top, and you push that down, and it forces the water through, and should only take around about 15 seconds to completely press that water. So you've gone from contaminated water to 100% clean, fresh water, which then, if you take the cap off, you can drink out of it like a sports bottle. Or the advantage that this has, as far as I'm concerned, and it's got a lovely carrying handle, is you can actually take the top off. And you can pour the water out. So this means you can decant your water and collect the water very quickly. So I think
potentially boil it.
Yeah, and boil it. So I think it says on here somewhere, it says how much you can do. Literally,
it says 300 presses.
Yeah, 300 presses on one of these, but I think you can get about 3 litres of water within a minute.
Yeah, it says 3 litres per minute.
Yeah, so with this particular Ultra Press, I can get 3 litres of water, and that's not 3 litres of water that I've got to physically drink. I can collect 3 litres of water, which I can decant out into other water carrying bottles. I can use for cooking, personal hygiene, whatever. However, with a bottle like this, so overall, how much water does this filter?
So with that one cartridge, it's 300 presses, which equals 150 litres.
Yeah, so this is a sudden drop in the litres that you're going to be able to get out of this. 150 litres compared to, what was it, 1,000 litres?
It was 4,000 on one of them.
4,000 on the
Life Straw.
4,000 litres down to
3,000 litres, and then it was 1,200.
And this is
This is 150 litres.
Yeah, 150. So a huge drop in the amount of water you can get out of the filter. However, you are really, really filtering the water out of all the heavy metals, or all the bacteria, the protozoa, everything is getting stripped out by this.
But the thing to say about this is the fact that cartridge, which is the end of the inside container, that is replaceable.
Yes, and bingo! I've got, for those people watching, I'm going to say I've got another unopened cartridge in my hand here. So what are we talking price-wise for something like the GeoPress? GeoPress, this cost me 85 quid. Okay, so
that is
a big step up. So your
that's a treat.
Your Sawyer Mini is around £45. Your Live Store is about 22 quid. This is only £85. The replacement cartridge is £26. Okay. So the Ultra Press is, but the thing is, for me, this is just like carrying. I mean, it's very here. Have the bottle. So you're carrying basically when it's.
I wasn't expecting it to be as kind of weighty as it is.
Right. So you call that weight? Yeah, I suppose. But you've got the filter and everything in there. It's not.
But you can feel the quality there.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. If you drop it, it's meant to bounce quite well and not get damaged.
Yeah.
It's
so very rugged.
I think the difference between the GeoPress and the Ultra Press is the GeoPress, I say, is slightly bigger, but the GeoPress has an attachment for the cap. So when you undo it, the cap stays attached.
So you can't lose it.
So with the Ultra Press, do bear that in mind. However, I'm going to come back to the filter.
There's more?
Yeah. This is another thing with the Ultra Press. Let's just see if I can pop the filter out. I don't know if I can get. Here you go. Just a bit of a knack on this. There you go. So I'm just taking the filter out for those people listening. Okay, so the filter is out. If I stick my thumb in here and pull this out, bingo.
Ooh.
You have got a silicon non-return valve. It's got 4, I think they call them a duck or goose bill. So you can't get any return water going back into the filter. Now, the benefit of that in the Ultra Press is this means that once you have filtered your water, then you can actually add things like electrolytes and such like to your. There you go, snap that back in there. That's locked in. So you can, once you've filtered your water, you've done your press. Ooh, look, sound effects.
Excellent.
You can add electrolytes to this. You can add different drink flavours to it and things.
So and that has a lot of benefits.
And it won't go back into the filter. That water, once it's been pressed, cannot go back into the filter.
Out of the water systems we've looked at today, would you say that this is your favourite?
Well, I wanted a new one. I got myself a new one because I just wanted to try the Ultra Press out compared to the GeoPress. And the thing for this is slightly smaller, fits in your backpack or on the side pocket nicely. I'm going to Wales on a trip, on an expedition in a couple of weeks' time. And this means that wherever I am, wherever there's a babbling brook coming off the mountains, there's loads of places for water in Wales. I don't have to carry any water with me at all.
Yeah.
But I don't have to stick my head down and start sucking through the life straw. I can just literally within seconds, within 15 seconds, have a full canteen of water. Plus, those people with me, I can top theirs up. Yeah.
There you go.
Because I can literally just top it up. I can get, what was it, 3 litres in a minute?
3 litres per minute.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes it so versatile.
Yeah. For
those kind of outings.
Whereas for these ones, it's very much kind of, this one's yours, this one's yours. Everyone has their own straw.
Get sucking.
Whereas...
Get sucking. Well, you can share the water. If I want to make myself some noodles and I need water, I can do it. So,
yeah, it's versatility.
But you're paying for it. Yeah. So but the thing is, this is where I'm saying all water filters are different, but they all have their place. So, for example, I would not go without having life straws in my preps because, that's literally for one person 5 years worth of drinking water. Yeah. Yeah. Whereas something like the Ultra Press will just run out without more filters.
Yeah.
In a much shorter period of time. But it is for what I want it for.
Very good.
Very good for going out on expeditions
Trips.
And literally having easily accessible water very quickly.
Yeah.
So it's all down to really what you want the filter to do for you.
Yeah,
at the time.
I suppose thinking about what is your objective? Is it I'm going on a hiking trip for a couple of days and I don't want to be carrying the water with me?
Who wants?
Or is it, oh no, I by myself have been trapped in this setting unexpectedly and I have to now survive with what I have available.
Exactly. So, it's you want to plan out your trip, but there's two different things, because there's a planned expedition. What am I taking with me? But you also have the situation, like we were saying, you're suddenly flooded out, you've got no fresh water. What do I do? Well, even if you've got something as easily affordable as something like a Life Straw or similar product, at least you can get drinking water. Yeah, if you're in a survival situation and it's so small, you can pack it away in your luggage and your pack. You can literally take a lot. I mean, that weighs nothing, does it?
No.
So you can have one of those in your backpack as well as having a GeoPress or an Ultra Press, because if you lost your bottle, you've always got back. What do we say?
2 is 1, 1 is none.
That's it. 2 is 1, 1 is none.
Doesn't have to be the same thing.
Doesn't have to be the same thing. So the ease of something like the GeoPress and the Ultra Press, absolutely love it, because instant clean water. Plus, you can add flavors to your water and stuff, and it's not going to get contaminated from that filter. Or you just get sort of sucky with your with your Life Straw, really. Or if but that's the thing with the Life.
Choice is yours, ladies and gentlemen.
Choice is yours.
Choice is yours.
We've explained what they do. We've explained how they work, and hopefully that might help you to make a decision. But whatever you decide, I would say get a water filter or water filters in your preps, because it'd be silly not to. I mean, you can probably get by without them if you do the long route with the. If you've got even the minimum of having a millbank bag, you can get away with it. Boil it, always boil it. You can if you really, really, really want to, you can filter your water out of something like a GeoPress and boil it if you
exactly
feel that you have a need to.
Yeah, but you can't do that
with a Life Straw.
With one of these.
No, you can't do that. And not unless you're going to suck it out and spit it into a container.
I'm not sharing that with you.
No, it's funny that. Anyway, so that's it. Water filters. It's a definite thumbs up for water filters.
Yeah.
And we live in a time where they are very affordable, and so there really is no reason for you in an emergency situation to leave yourself open to getting a stomach bug.
No need to suffer when you can be perfectly fine.
Exactly. Which leaves me with
Wisdom of the week.
So I was trying to sort of think H2O, sort of
H2O, yeah.
Kind of watery kind of wisdom.
Watery kind of aquatic.
Okay. So here we go. Wisdom of the week.
Bestow your wisdom.
It is only when the well is dry that we really know the worth of water.
There you go.
There you go. Ta-da!
He is the Kawasat's Haderach.
Oh, right.
June reference.
I need a still suit then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. Go get yourself a still
suit from June.
There you go.
Come on, Grail or whatever. Life Straws. Make it happen.
Well, you want to have a suit where you can urinate into and it'll process your pee. And your sweat. Would you like...
Maybe?
If you're thirsty, do you want to suck away straw?
No! No!
No, leave it alone.
No.
Anyway, so there you go. Another Preppers episode done. Water filters, they're great.
Excellent.
Let's do this.
Stuff.
Huzzah! What can I say?
If you enjoyed this podcast, please like and subscribe to this channel and comment below any suggestions of further topics or activities you'd like to listen to in future episodes.
That's it. So that's a big hydrated goodbye from Buzz.
And a filtered goodbye from Zak.
Goodbye.
Till the next time.